agencies are ill prepared for emergencies like this?
You see, disasters is a sudden occurrence. There is no notice for disasters. But what you need to do is that sometimes there are warning signals that the disaster is likely to occur in certain areas. And there must be a plan, a response plan in the event disasters happen. So every decent society must have its own response plan in the event that there is disaster. Especially if you look at pipeline area where it passed, there are sensitive areas that needs to be guided properly by regulations. So in putting regulations to avert any disaster, you must put the response plan in event such occurrence happen. And the response plan in most cases, but when you see the time of response was very, very bad. And as I speak, even lately, we still discover that some people are still trapped there. Wow. So you discover that the response of government to recover those who were involved in those explosion events where explosion was very, very poor.
Now, when you talk about the failure of government agency, you also mention failure of the regulatory agency. Now, what do you make of a situation where agencies of government that goes to National Assembly to drop budget every year? What do you make of the ill preparation or poor response in time? What could be the reason?
You see, disaster, especially when it comes to the environment, the physical environment in this case, we must do the activities of men on the environment, of human being on the environment, has created a lot of issues. And when you know on daily basis there are events or activities of men on the environment, likely there will be consequence of the action of men, of people on those environment. So what you do in most cases for every, that is why in town planning regulations, we have about 4 important regulations that guide the activities of men on the environment. We have what we call development control. We have what we call environmental impact assessment. We have building regulations, and we have building regulations, environmental impact assessment, and land use. In this case, in every society, you must delineate area, and if you are taking out any project, you must be able to assess the consequence of those projects on the environment, and that is why building permits is very important in anything.
Yeah. Do you, from your analysis as a professional, it appears to be that the basic thing that was responsible for that unfortunate incident was the activities of men?
Yes, you see, there's a lot of encroachment into the pipeline area. Buildings that were not building, natural residential building, which shouldn't exist in those areas were there.
But
you see,
Mr. Adejo, we have agencies of government.
Yes, that is a failure on the part of government to regulate the activities of men. You see, when you are planning an environment, you must be laid out, and that is why the Town Planning Act of 1992 specifies some of those things. The Act specifies that when there is an environment, you check the encroachment, population is exploding, people are building up, environment is congested. So what you do is that there must be a development control to check the activities of men, regulate what they do, especially in their building. You check the building, there are certain areas that are marked, and these areas residential buildings are not allowed to be close to those areas. For instance, you don't allow residential areas to be close to areas that is likely prone to disaster. You understand? Because human life will be involved in it. And that is why when you prepare your layer, there's what we call land sensitivity. These land sensitivities is that these areas are very sensitive. And as such, people should not be allowed to develop close to those environments. Yeah.